Every time I went onto social media, I kept on seeing this particular TikTok handstand challenge, which was this. So you come to the wall, you bring one foot up, twist towards the bottom foot, bring your hands down close to your bottom foot, and then come up into a lovely handstand. And so in this video, I'd like to show you my 10 favorite poses I love to do at the wall. Now, some of them are using the wall for support, either to get into poses that otherwise we might be a bit too scared to do, or using the wall to open up and help us deepen into poses. And then the other ones are for using the wall for some really yummy stretching and flexibility exercises. Okay, so number one is handstand. Now there's two ways you can work on handstand with the help of the wall. The first is probably the more obvious one, is using the wall as support so as we don't fall over. So the best way to do this is bring your hands just a little bit away from the wall. Find whatever is your dominant leg. So for me, it's my left one. And then think that you want to push up until you're able to find the wall. Inhale. And when you find the wall, you can stay here for a few breaths. Either come down the way you came up or slowly, slowly walk down. And so the other way, which is similar to the TikTok challenge, is we sit against the wall, and this is for measurement. So think wherever your feet, your heels are, that's where you want your hands to go. So let's see, I want to put my hands in the same line as where my heels are. And then from here, I want to come up the wall. And ideally, I want my feet to be the same level as my hips. And then from here, I can play with lifting one foot up, keeping my core engaged, and playing with my balance. But both of these are lovely exercises to help you work on your handstands. Okay, so next we're going to work on forearm balance, or Pincha Mayurasana. So for this, you can use a block and a strap and the wall, of course. You don't need to use these props, but they just make getting into the pose just that much easier. So what we do is we place our block against the wall, and this is to encourage our palms to stay shoulder width apart. And then we get our strap, and we put the strap just outside, just above our elbows, and this is just to keep our elbows from opening up, which they have a tendency to do. So what we do is we come to the wall, we place our fingers, our index fingers just outside of the block. Our elbows are nicely in place, and from here, lift the hips up. See if you can walk as much as you can, that'll just make it easier. Lift one foot up and come up. And then one little tip here is to avoid staying in a banana. Instead of bringing one foot away, see if you can bring both feet away and find your balance. Alrighty, number three. So number three is all about walking up the wall, and this really helps you, first of all, build confidence if you're working on inversions, and also it helps really strengthen your arms and your core. So if you want to make it even more challenging for yourself, you can start off in plank with the wall. Yes, there's even that option for plank. So find your plank, and then try to bring your feet just up the wall. And this is a lovely way to work on your core. And if you want, you can walk up the wall. Just find wherever you're comfortable with. Take a moment here, and then just slowly, slowly walk down. You can repeat this as many times as you want. Okay, so number four is about if you have issues in your balancing poses, the easiest thing to do is, say you're, for example, in tree pose and you struggle with your balance. Rather than struggling, of course, it's great to work on that. But if it's getting a bit too hard for you, you can always come close to the wall. And if you don't want to rely on the wall, you can bring your fingertips there and just see if you can slowly move your hand away from the wall rather than completely relying on it. However, here's another thing. If you practice Ashtanga yoga, for example, and you do Utthita Hasta, where we bring the leg forward, if you practice at home, as I do, I'm a home practitioner. That's one of the great poses where the teacher holds onto your foot and you can fold forward, and it just feels great to be supported. So here's a little hack that I love to do in my practice. So say for example, I've got my right foot. I will bring my foot up against the wall. I will hold on to the big toe, and just as if there was a teacher here holding me, I would then be able to fold forward onto that leg, and it just feels really great. Okay, so moving on to back bends. Now, I absolutely love doing this in my personal practice when I'm working on back bends. I absolutely love to practice this way. We can use all these props. So place the blocks at an angle, and then an option is to use a strap. Sometimes straps help because when we go up into back bends, we have a tendency to open the elbows. So just using a strap just helps to keep your elbows in place. And so what we want to do is we come back, we bring our head close to the wall, hands on the blocks, and then inhale, hips come up, exhale here, inhale, come all the way up, and just think about bringing your chest closer to the wall. And this is a great thing to work on if you're working on back bends and you're trying to figure out a way to open up into them. This is a really nice way to work on your back bends. So now we're moving on to the more stretchy, yummy stuff. So number 6 is you come close to the wall, twist up, bring your feet up. So if your hamstrings are open enough, you can come as close to the wall as you want. If not, just keep a little bit of a distance. And then from here, open out the feet. And this is a lovely hamstring opener. So just stay here for maybe a minute or two, and you'll see that maybe slowly you'll be able to bring your feet a bit closer to the floor. Now the next one now is a lovely figure 4. So come a little bit away from the wall, put one foot on the wall and bring the other foot flex just above the knee and bring your hips down. And this feels absolutely lovely on the hip. And our next one is a lovely Badha Konasana. So we bring the soles of the feet together and just lower your feet down as much as feels right for you. You can have your hands wherever you want. You can always put your hands just above your knees, and if your knees are okay with this, gently push towards the wall. Okay, so number 9 is a lovely quad stretch. If you're working on your splits, if you want to improve your splits, this is actually a fantastic thing to work on. So think that your splits isn't just about your hamstring flexibility, it's also about opening up the front side, so your quads and your psoas muscles of the back leg. So let's see, you bring your one foot close to the wall, point that foot, and then see if you can step that next foot down. And then from here, what we want to do is we want to lower down, and you'll really feel an intense stretch right here. And this is what will really help you open up into your split. So by opening up the front side of whatever will be your back leg, and then by opening up the hamstring of whatever is your front leg, that will really help with anyone working on splits. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to work on legs up the wall, or Viparita Karani, which is a lovely way to end your practice. Now you can just sit against the wall, bring your feet up, stay there for a few minutes and enjoy. Otherwise, if you've got all these props, why not do the more restorative version? So I've got my bolster and it's just away from the wall. What I do is I sit on the bolster, I bring my feet up, and then I can either just stay here, which is absolutely lovely, or what I can do is I can get my strap. I put my strap around my, just about above the knees. I get my block and I put that in between my knees, and then I tighten my strap, and this just helps me feel even more secure. So yeah, we could stay here for like a few breaths, a few minutes. When you're ready, just slowly roll out. So let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you want to try out, that you tried out, that you thought was really cool, really great. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.